What if there was a hidden link between Atlantis and a real ancient civilization that ruled the Aegean Sea? A civilization that was so advanced, it could create stunning art, architecture, and technology. A civilization that disappeared without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that has fascinated generations of explorers. Could this be the key to unlocking the secrets of Atlantis? Find out as we dive into the amazing world of the Minoans. We will analyze ancient texts, explore underwater sites, and follow the clues that could reveal the truth about this enigmatic culture. From mysterious writing to dazzling artifacts, Atlantis has left us a trail of clues that we are about to explore. First, let's talk about the Minoans, an ancient civilization living on Crete's island during the Bronze Age. This was a society of remarkable achievements, where art, architecture, and technology merged to create a unique culture. But what if this civilization was more than just a historical curiosity? What if it held the key to one of the greatest mysteries of all time, the legendary lost city of Atlantis? Imagine a city, as Plato described it, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. A city that had technological wonders, majestic palaces, and a society so advanced that it seemed almost divine. And then compare it to the Minoans, with their complex cities arranged in a circular pattern, much like Plato's Atlantis. Is it a mere coincidence? Or could it be a hint of a hidden truth? But there's more. The Minoans had the power of writing, using the linear A script, a forerunner of the Greek alphabet that would later shape history. They controlled a network of islands across the mysterious Aegean Sea. But they didn't stop there. They also had colonies in distant lands like Anatolia and Palestine. Plato depicted a harbor full of ships from all over the world bustling with trade and commerce, and that was the Minoans' specialty. They were not just traders, but the masters of trade in their time. They left their mark all over the Mediterranean world. Their skills in irrigation, navigation, and other technologies reflect the essence of Atlantis as Plato described it. But of course there are also differences. While the Minoans were known for their peaceful ways, Atlantis had a military spirit, but maybe it's in the contrast that we can find the connection. Could the Minoans have inspired the Atlantis that Plato immortalized? Think about the evidence. The circular city layout, the mysterious linear A script, the advanced technology, and the devastating natural disaster that destroyed both civilizations. It's a puzzle waiting to be solved, a mystery that challenges us to think beyond the obvious. But let's not stop there. Atlantis has sparked the imagination of countless people for centuries, inspiring them to search for clues and answers. Some look for sunken structures off the coast of the Bahamas, while others explore the mysterious Azores Islands, shrouded in their own secrets. And what about the Doggerland, the submerged land bridge that once connected Europe and Britain? Could it also hold a clue to the mythical city? In 2015, on the coast of Sicily, archaeologist Sebastiano Tusa led an expedition that would shed new light on the ancient legend of Atlantis. Using shovels and diving gear, Tusa's team investigated a shipwreck that had been submerged for more than 2,600 years. What they found was a treasure trove of 39 metal ingots, ancient artifacts that dated back to a time when civilizations rose and fell. But what made these ingots truly astonishing was not their age, but their composition. A scientific analysis revealed a secret that challenged conventional wisdom. The composition of these ingots was unlike anything ever seen in human history, an 80% copper and 20% zinc alloy. A fusion so modern it puzzled even the most experienced archaeologists. Zinc, an element we associate with the modern world, was not supposed to be here, not in this form, not in this age. The mystery deepened as it became clear that the technology to process zinc from its natural state, sphalerite, was not available at that time, more than 1,000 years before its supposed discovery. How did the ancient craftsmen create such a complex alloy at a time when metallurgy was still in its infancy? What was the purpose of this alloy, and what properties did it have that modern science is yet to understand? The answer may lie in the ancient writings of Plato, the Greek philosopher who spoke of a fabled land, Atlantis, a place of extraordinary power and technology, where the god Poseidon ruled, and in his temple a precious metal known as orichalcum, the mountain copper, adorned the walls. While Plato did not specify the composition of this legendary metal, some scholars now suggest that it might have been similar to the alloy recovered from the shipwreck. Copper infused with zinc. Imagine the temple of Poseidon glowing with the reddish hue of orichalcum. The color, more than just a visual effect, may have had a spiritual significance. A metal, it seemed, that resonated with the divine. Some even believed it came from the heavens, a gift from the gods. And here's where the story gets even more interesting. According to Plato, it was Cadmus, the son of Poseidon, who brought orichalcum to the people of Atlantis. Cadmus, a divine figure, a hero from Mount Olympus, taught mankind the art of metallurgy, the forging of alloys. Could this then be the link between the legend and the mystery of the shipwrecked ingots? According to legend, Atlantis met its fate through the fury of nature. While most scientists do not believe that Atlantis ever existed, Robert Ballard, an ocean explorer who works for National Geographic and who found the Titanic wreck in 1985, says that no Nobel laureates have confirmed Plato's story of Atlantis. However, Ballard says that the legend of Atlantis makes sense because there have been many natural disasters in history, such as floods and volcanic eruptions. One of these events was similar to the story of Atlantis. Around 3,600 years ago, a huge volcano erupted on the island of Santorini in the Aegean Sea near Greece. The people who lived there, called the Minoans, had a very advanced civilization, but they disappeared suddenly after the eruption. But Ballard does not think that Santorini was Atlantis because the eruption happened much later than when Plato said Atlantis was destroyed. James Rahm, a professor of classics, thinks that Plato made up the story of Atlantis to teach some of his ideas. He was dealing with a number of issues, themes that run throughout his work, he says. His ideas about divine versus human nature, ideal societies, and the gradual corruption of human society, these ideas are all found in many of his works. Atlantis was a different vehicle to get at some of his favorite themes. The legend of Atlantis is a story about a good spiritual people who lived in a perfect advanced society, but they became greedy, selfish, and morally bankrupt, and the gods became angry because the people had lost their way and turned to immoral pursuits, says Charles Orser, a historical archaeologist. As a punishment, he says, the gods sent one terrible night of fire and earthquakes that made Atlantis sink into the sea. One of the most popular myths about Atlantis is that it was related to aliens or extraterrestrial beings. This myth is based on the assumption that the advanced knowledge and technology that Plato attributed to Atlantis could not have been possible without alien intervention. However, there is no evidence to support this claim, and it is more of a science fiction than a historical fact. The idea that Atlantis was connected to aliens emerged in the 20th century, influenced by the works of science fiction writers and pseudoscientists. For example, Eric von Daniken, author of Chariots of the Gods, claimed that ancient monuments and artifacts, such as the pyramids and the Nazca Lines, were evidence of alien visitation. He also speculated that Atlantis was an alien colony that was destroyed by a nuclear war. However, there is no archaeological or scientific evidence that supports the existence of Atlantis or its alleged alien connection. The location, size, and age of Atlantis are disputed and inconsistent among different interpretations. No traces of its advanced civilization have been found in any of the proposed sites. That's a wrap for this video, but the journey doesn't end here. Subscribe now to join us on more exhilarating quests into the unknown, where myths intertwine with facts and mysteries that call out to us to explore. Who knows what secrets lie waiting to be discovered? Subscribe and follow M History for more mysterious facts.